Hey everyone, welcome back to Revolution Custom Standard. This time around, we've got the Grand Prix quarterfinals match here between Lee and Itai. So these two players are, I believe, the last match of the quarterfinals that has to be played. It's possible that there's another one and I'm just forgetting. I think maybe Epid and Coveted Peacock maybe haven't played, but anyway, we'll see about that. Itai here is on Mono White control. Lee is on, I believe, Jund Rib Collector combo. Absolutely slightly degenerate combo here. Kind of hard to deal with, but if you're able to exile out some of the pieces, there's still hope. But it is definitely a game-winning one. Let's check out our players' hands. What do we got so far? We've got 3 planes. We've got Laystone of Being here. Slow Life Drip. Also comes with a token, which is neat. You've got Welkin Eviction, Dutiful Wanderer, and Renowned Rough Rider. Able to get to most of these decently fast enough. Welkin Eviction, of course, is not going to cost 7. Every planes that that Itai has on the board is going to make it cost less. Over on Lee's side, I already have, most of the good pieces here. Transgressive Trendsetter, an important part of it when it enters. If you control a permanent with greater mana value, you add black-red. Spirit Realm Medallion can make your spells cost less. And Ozan's Blessing can go and fetch some of the missing pieces. For example, the Rib Collector. Very, very interesting pieces here. Wonder if there's currently nothing that's going to stop that combo, depending on how it gets set up. Sorcery Speed, I mean, Welcome Eviction does have Flash, so that's definitely not nothing. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this goes, and especially in Games 2 and Games 3. So, also shout out to Silver, who is waiting in the semifinals section, waiting to see which of these two players they have to face. So I know you're waiting for this video to come out, so hopefully you enjoy it and get ready to face one of these two players. So Laystone right here. What do we got? All right, cycled it out. Very interesting. Primal Fissure, of course, is going to get cracked. I would imagine we're maybe going for a mountain. Yep, that would make sense given the hand. Of course, said hand has plenty of land. Cycling the Erosive Path here. Would rather dig for more pieces. Shigane Manor Burns here. A staple of Season 13. This card has just seen play in so many decks. Passing it back here to Itai, we're going to be on 3 mana. Could be an early Renowned Rough Rider here. I imagine it's not quite enough mana for the Welkin Eviction here. Making it cost 3 less means we're going to be at 4. So, alright, there's the Spirit Realm Medallion. Naming, I would imagine, black and red. Is there a green one that you want to cost cheaper? I have to remember. Yeah, okay. Black and red is what I remember you want to use. Trendsetter now just costing 1, and this being a permanent that costs 3 means that a Corrupt is going to be online. All right. 3 planes here from Itai means that we, as I said, we have a Renowned Rough Rider mana. With really nothing else going to be played, I don't really see a reason not to run out the Renowned Rough Rider unless you want to make your opponent think that you're holding things up. So we'll see about that. Nope, we're just passing it over. No Rough Riders here for now. Yeah, I mean, I guess the threat of activation. Yeah, 1 short for Welcome Eviction. Or no, correct. Does it also check cycling? It does, never mind. Laystone of Being has cycling, so we do have the mana for it because it's costing 4 less. So we do have the amount of mana necessary to cast Welcome Eviction. So yes, sorry, much more important to have this flash removal available to interrupt the combo. Another piece of it here, by the way, in Serve Again. So Serve Again is whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you get to create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a minion and has decayed. And then when you get Rib Collector out, you're able to just keep bringing stuff back. It's a whole mess here. Anyway, Transgressive only costs 1 mana, going to give black red. Here, let's make that a little bigger here. To Lee, and then immediately, I believe, going to spend it to cast Serve Again, Spirit Realm Medallion, also reducing that card's mana. Here's the third land, which means there's an Ozan's Blessing available should we need it. And now the decision is, yeah, okay. End step, Welcome Eviction. I mean, all the pieces are pretty good to hit. I would imagine the combo doesn't really function without Serve Again, I believe. That might be target. I mean, hitting any of the pieces is disruptive enough. Then you're going to go up to 4 mana, so I'm guessing we're going to see Renowned Rough Riders then on turn 4. Itai's going to just think a little bit about what they want to hit. All right, looks like it is, in fact, going to be Serve Again here, getting sniped out by Welcome Eviction. Turn's going to pass back over to Itai. Of course, depends what we draw, but I would imagine otherwise it's just going to be a Renowned Rough Rider, start putting some pressure on the board. I mean, there's Leyshard. Never mind. There's Leyshard. Could sequence it in, could keep it up. There's a few things to figure out. What's nice about Leyshard is that it just like sort of half cycles itself. Like you get a draw, you get a mana back, even though it costs 2. Very pretty art. I like it a lot, by the way. All right, so going to be drawing a card and going to be adding a mana of any type. Quite neat that it can add colorless. I'm sure that comes up sometimes in decks that need it. Cassia is nice, but I believe we're just going to be at 3 mana. So might as well throw out the Renowned Rough Rider. So honestly, pretty good value for a 3-drop. You get your 3/3. Then you get a 1/1. You also get another one when it leaves. And if you control 4 or more creatures, you put a counter on a creature you control. So just good pile of stats here. Pretty good stuff. And of course, the follow-up is not horrible because that would be the 4th creature, right? Yeah, Rough Riders are good. End of turn, Ozan's Blessing. Gonna get a creature card with mana value 2 or less, enters tapped. Let's see what Lee is going for. Unsurprisingly, finds the Rib Collector. So there it is. When Rib Collector enters, if a creature has died this turn, you get to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and then for 1 and a black, you can sacrifice another creature, and you get to cast it from the battlefield for its wonder cost, and then if it enters, you get it back, and yeah, all good stuff. All right, here is Smiling Sludge, another part of the combo. This is a 1/3 that when it enters, you get a berry, and whenever you sacrifice a non-land permanent, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that's it. That's the GG there. It might seem like the Serve Again was needed, but the way it works is you do 1 and a black. I believe the medallion does make it cost less because it's a cast, right? So there's the loop. Taps black. Rib Collector is cast from the battlefield. Sacrifices the Transgressive Trendsetter. It re-enters. Transgressive Trendsetter will come back, give you black red, and then you can keep using the black to keep recasting Rib Collector. Okay, I can do it this turn, but I need to tap differently. Uh-oh. Did we? Oh, hold up. What am I missing here? Ozan's Blessing found the sludge, right? Swamp for the Rib Collector. Why do we need the extra... I don't... I might be missing something here. That makes it cost one less. You pay black. Do you need... Why do you need red mana for... Oh, because it goes to your hand. Duh, of course. Well... Maybe the judge call? Okay, well... Alright. Or not. Alright, well, players are going to sideboard. Yeah, I mean, you get the red from Trendsetter, right? Black and a red. Oh, but you need the first red. You need the first red because you do have to cast it at least once to get the enter the battlefield effect. Okay, anyway, players decided to just move on. So, which means we are going to move on as well. We're going to move over here to check out the sideboards. Let's see what Itai got. I'm assuming we're going to see... So Looming Psyhawks are good because they stop all the token creations, which is kind of like how the combo works. Pest Problem hits a few things. Exiles artifacts. Fall of Tracks probably not. Soul Guide Lantern is important, of course, being able to hit the cards while I believe they're in the yard. And then over on Lee's side, there's like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, right? There's more copies of Sludge. Mask Smith. Does that hit anything? Yeah, I guess it hits the Banishing Light type cards. Destroying creatures with mana value 3 or less. I mean, there's a lot of options here. Face of the Abominable Avalanche is not horrible. I don't think Soul God Lantern is going to do too much here. Okay, well, I mean, there's options for both players. We'll give it a second and see what they go for. All right, players are ready. Let's check the opening hands. We might be able to spot a few sideboard cards coming in here. Itai is going to be on the play. No surprise. The extra turn here is quite a good. All right, what do we got? I love it. Just a million passes back and forths. Okay, Crux coming in here. I believe Crux was only in the sideboard, so I'm assuming both of these came in. What do we got up here? Soul Guide Lantern. This was already in the main board, so was Fall of a Lantern. Okay, we'll see how it goes. 4 mana Destroy All, like, can do some stuff, but oh boy. Well, that's not the kind of mulligan that you want. Gonna go to 5. I imagine this is gonna keep over here on Lee's turn. 3 lands, and then a bunch of playable things. That is, well, there's the planned obsolescence. Itai going to 4. That is a very rough series of mulligans in a Grand Prix quarterfinals. It's really not a great way to end this. I mean, not saying that Itai's out, but keep 4 is probably not what you want to be, especially with these double-tapped stack Conviviplexes. I mean, you keep what? Contest Coordinator... Looming Psyhawk to stop the combo. I don't think you can keep the Falls of Lantern. This is a really tough keep. I wouldn't want to be in Itai's shoes right here. This is really brutal. What got thrown back here? Okay, the Mountain. Yep. 2 lands, Shigane. Definitely pretty much all you need here. And any extra land means Lee's got pretty much everything that they're going to need. One more card here from Itai. Oh, okay. Looks like Psyhawk was thrown back instead of keeping the Ceiling Strike. I think Contest Coordinator has to be kept. Digging for that Plains or anything else is going to be important to get that third, which you kind of need for all your stuff. I feel keeping Fall of a Lantern here might be not a trap, but like pretty risky. Thankfully, the Rib Collector is sorcery speed, I believe, so it's not like you can just get instant gotcha'd off of it, but not great. We'll give it a few seconds, see what Itai picks, and oops, and be right back. All right, looks like the Fall of a Lantern was thrown back. So yeah, thinking back to like game one, definitely the medallion seems to have been doing most of the work, right? Because it's reducing both the rib collector and the trendsetter, but then the other one also makes token copies. So I mean, they're both equally horrendous, right? Like serve again just also gives you all the mana you need. So it's kind of like a, you know, doomed if you do, doomed if you don't. I think both of those cards were important to get rid of. All right, well, second land here. Shame that it's tapped, but Contest Coordinator at least maybe next turn, depending on what Itai draws. Shigana Mana Burns, just giving that value, right? SMB already got its little nickname there in the Discord chat. Let's see what we get. Soul Guide Lantern. That's actually pretty important. Your opponent's unlikely to combo off on turn 3. You probably have a turn to drop Contest Coordinator, go looking for a third land, which gets you closer to everything you have in your hand, and then a Soul Guide Lantern early. Just threatening activation seems pretty important, but I think, yeah, I think you can Contest Coordinator here on this first turn, or I guess second turn, but first play. Top 5, so it can be a Plains or it can be a non-land with an activated ability. But yeah, Plains is probably what you want. It's nice that these can get like a lot of pieces of the deck, and like they're just 1/3s for 2, which is not horrible. And yep, there's the Soul Guide Lantern sequenced. Can exile a card from the graveyard. Might as well hit the Primal Fissure while we're at it. And then just hold up the threat of activation, you know? Tap, sacrifice, exile. So there's a reason this card is good in Canon Magic, and there's a reason why it's still good here. All right, mana goes out, lets you discard a card, and then you can exile the top 2 cards of your library. Is there anything you want to discard, though? Like, you've got most of the pieces here again, right? With Trendsetter, Ozan, Fetching Rib, Serve Again. I don't remember what Karaja does. It's a 2/2 for 2. When you sacrifice, exile it until the end of your next turn. You can cast it from exile. Neat. When it enters, if it was not cast from your hand, you get to discard your hand, and if you do, draw 2 cards. Pretty cool. All right, a little bit of thinking here on the Mana Burns. All right, went for it, tossed the Karaja. Finds Profane Grove and Hungry Blob. Oh, Hungry Blob here, quite good. Gonna eat the Soul Guide Lantern. That's not great. Question is, right, you can only play one of them. So, yeah, 3 Blob, I would imagine. Yep. Force the Soul Guide Lantern, where you might as well use it to get the Karaja gone, but can't even sacrifice it to draw a card here, which is unfortunate, but that is how things go. Okay, Force Plains is pretty nice. Ceiling Strike is not instant speed, though, so... And, like, you're kind of waiting for Serve Again or something bigger. So, Cassia coming out here. It was fun having access to this card in MSCM as well. One of the Revolution cards that got welcomed to the format. And we picked a bunch of cards. Was it last winter or the one before that? But anyway, great card. Makes the cats. That's what's important here. And then slowly down ticks until you pay the wander cost and you just reset it. So Deadly Dispute, also good here. Shigane burns for 2 damage. Is going to be back on the loop, picking up the treasure. So, Hungry Blob also mana value 3, which is important for Transgressive Trendsetter here. All right, looks like we're going for, serve. Just having it out already, and then you really don't need much to find the rest of the pieces. Soul Guide Lantern is nice. Soul Guide and Sealing Strike together are actually quite nice. Sealed, Serve Again, and then Soul Guide Lantern is not horrible. Ozan's Blessing only searches for mana value 2 or less, so can't find a Hungry Blob, but can definitely find some other stuff. Notably, as we said, Rib Collector, Trendsetter. Oh, we could always find the Mask Smith. So if you really need to, you can go get that. But just the rest of the combo normally is enough. So yeah, Sealing Strike. Able to exile 2 things thanks to Cassia's -2. Because if a permanent entering the battlefield in your control this turn, it'll trigger an additional time. So yeah, double sealed. Good thing not putting the blob in. But yeah, Soul Guide Lantern. That's some really good functionality here on Cassia. That's actually quite good. Yep, Serve Again is tucked away. Soul Guide Lantern. Now we're back into a game. Honestly, for a hand that was at 4 cards against 6, Itai's doing pretty well here. Those 2 Soul Guide Lanterns are pretty important. Found a Rib Collector. Yeah, I was going to say, for a multi-4, it actually is a game. So, like, Trendsetter's Menace is great, but now we're already at, like, 2/2s, 1/3s. Cassia can do another 2/2 and then wander herself, so. It's not easy. Can you win? I mean, you can force the first Soul Guide, but you definitely don't want to let it hit your... Well, look, there's a Rib and a Trendsetter. Like, you lose both of these, then you've got Blessing for another Rib Collector and Transgressive. So you've got, like, some redundancy. You just got to find, I guess, either the Medallion or the Serve Again. Yeah, so there's the Deadly Dispute. Gonna go dig for some cards. Would be nice to find a land. There's one. That's good. I mean, Hungry Blob in the yard is also quite good because you can Rib Collector for it, right? So you might as well do that and get it back, I would imagine. And now you know that if the blob survives, what does it do? It eats total mana value 3 or less. So, eats the Sealing Strike. Alright. Can't really waste the Soul Guide Lantern on it, but then the thing is the blob is gonna... well, I mean, if the blob eats the Sealing Strike, the blob isn't eating the Soul Guide Lantern, but the Rib Collector can then wander itself, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get to 5 mana, and you can start looping that that blob, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah, Rib Collector, kind of nuts, not gonna lie. All right, yep, firing it off. It's better to just cut that off where it is. It's a shame because, of course, like, Rib is still around to do Rib things with the Transgressive Trendsetter. And there's the Mountain from the hand. 3 mana open, could be an end step. Ozan's Blessing. Getting close. Plains is fine. I mean, worst case, you pay the triple white, get one of your stack Conviviplexes into a 2/3 lifelink, and then start chipping in. I mean, you can start putting pressure on your opponent eventually if you want to win. Could also just reset Cassia after doing the -1 to ensure that it's still around. Let's see if that's what's going on this turn. Yeah. Yeah, so Cassia gets wandered. And then what's cool about that is you get to immediately do -1 again. So you get another 2/2 black cat. So are we doing -3 for the counter on each creature? That could also be a thing. Yep, looks like we're going for the -3. So it's going to be a 2/4, 3/3, and a 3/3. Alrighty. I'm always used to using the green symbols, by the way. I know a lot of players use 4, but I always use 3, just kind of a thing. I'm assuming Lee's just going to take 5 damage here. You don't want your Rib Collector in the yard right now. Ozan's Blessing. Are we finding Sludge? Is there another 2 mana? Or are we going for Mask? Okay, Mask Smith. It's going to enter tapped, and then next turn can sacrifice the Mask Smith to blow up Sealing Strike, which is going to give back a Shigane Manor and serve again. There's a Journey Begins. Again, this thing digs pretty deep for permanents with mana value 3 or less. This card has been really good in MSCM and here in Revolution. Pretty good card overall. Doesn't have the double green quite yet, but yeah, there's Masksmith. Exiles the enchantment. And then Serve Again and Shigane Manor are back. And yeah, exiled. No Welkin for you. Gets a tap treasure. Serve Again is here. Trendsetter. Adds black-red. Rib Collector. The Trendsetter. Then you get a bunch of mana. Enters. Picks back up the Trendsetter. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And this is not once each turn, by the way. So you can get like an infinitely wide board. I mean, they have decay, but they don't die at end of turn. And then you end on Audacious Rough Rider. This doesn't give haste anything. It's just, you know, exile the top card. You can discard a card to put into your hand, create a treasure token. Entire Hazak army is kind of funny. Pretty funny stuff. Looks like it's Crux. Trendsetter hits the yard. Crux goes to hand. Yep. If only there was a way to... I mean, they've all got decayed. They can't block, right? Though, yeah, this looks like pretty close. Again, like big board doesn't win on the same turn. The sludge can win on the same turn, but unless your opponent has, yeah, I was gonna say Fall of Atlantin. This is where you got to draw Fall of Atlantin. Oh, that would be such an amazing top deck here. Fingers crossed, just so that we can have a game 3 or more. I'm not even sure the game 3 happens because right, you'd get a bunch of tokens back and you can just redo it, right? Drum roll. And gotta move to draw step, please. My fingers are gonna tire out. Sealing Strike. That's not a Fall of Atlantin. Honestly, for a hand that was at 4, right? Pretty important. So Sealing Strike. Exile 2 minions. I love it. Jeremy and Pete, no. I love how they're named. Uh, it's nice to have a little bit of humor in such a dire situation. But yeah, GG's all around. Pretty solid combo, not gonna lie. Gonna see if this thing can get shut down in semis, or if it's going all the way to the top. No surprise, Lee has been doing amazing when it comes to custom formats right now. They are definitely a player to watch out for. So yeah, crazy, crazy deck, as Itai says. I 100% agree. Lots of avenues of attack, lots of ways of winning, and redundancy and tutoring. Pretty nuts all around. So it was possible. A full board wipe could have been good. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you've enjoyed this brief quarterfinal match, and hopefully we see you again in semifinals and finals coverage. I am hoping to be available when those fire, so stay tuned and take care.